Hi, Clint, CRESTVIEW Wine and Spirits. I wanted to create a video to talk a little bit about some of the dilemmas in shopping for wine that I hear around the store. A lot of times we have people come in the store that say, I have this great bottle of wine out at a restaurant or at a friend's house, but I can't remember what the label looks like or what the name is. That's one dilemma. Another dilemma is that there's just so much out there. There's so many wines on different wine lists. There's so many wines in the store. Thousands, as a matter of fact. It's sometimes a little overwhelming. It's mind-boggling to think about how many different types of wines. And a lot of people, especially if you're just getting into wine, don't know what all the blends are, what all the different grapes are going to taste like. And so I wanted to just talk to you, see if maybe you've had some of these issues, and talk to you about some easy ways to overcome them when shopping in our store. Okay, so the first dilemma that we talked about was when you're out at a friend's house or you're in a restaurant and there's a wine that you can't remember next time you go in the store. A good way to remember, I want to take you over the wine section over here. If we pull out your Samsung tablet, iPhone has notes, Samsung has menu or memos, you could take a picture . Just take a picture of the label. And if you want to add a note to it, you can put in what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. Save that memo or note to your phone or tablet. When you come in, it's real easy to pull up in your notes. You'll know eventually, as you start to do it more and more, you'll start to get a pattern of wines that you like, certain grapes that you like, wines from different regions, but it'll all be right there on your tablet or your iPhone, and you can show us and we can direct you to all kinds of options here in the store. So we've talked now a little bit about how to remember wines that you've drank at friends' houses or at restaurants, and you really using the notes in iPhone and using memo and the tablets of Samsung and the Android stuff. Really simple, easy way. I know it takes up a little bit of storage, but you'll develop that pattern, as I said, and you'll start to know what grapes you really like and what types of blends or wines you really like. Really effective when it comes to shopping for European wines, because a lot of people have problems with the blends and reading the labels in European wines, which we'll talk about in a second. The next point I wanted to make is when you're shopping in our store, if you know that you like Chardonnay, that's the grape, okay? Chardonnay can be oaked, it could be unoaked. In other words, it could be stored in oak barrels, it could come right out of stainless steel. Two very different styles. And I would suggest starting with the grape you know you like, regardless of food. We'll talk about wine pairings in other videos, but start with that grape and ask our guys, try an unoaked, try an oaky, and try some from different regions. Maybe not just Chardonnay from California, try from Chile or from, there's gonna be some really good Chardonnays from other countries that maybe just vary a little bit in the minerality and the earthiness, but for the most part, you'll get all those Chardonnay flavors that you like. It's going to take some trial and error. There's, like I said, thousands of options out there, many of thousands here just in the store. Ask our guys, start with the grape you like, and then you can start branching out. If you like Chardonnay, then we can find you another grape, maybe domestic, that is very similar. Maybe something that'll have a little more florally note to it, or something that just adds a little something different to keep you trying new wines and branching out and kind of broadening your horizons. So the final point I want to make about shopping for wine, and hopefully this makes it a little easier and broadens your horizons even a little more. We talked about Chardonnay. Maybe I have some cab blends sitting here and one straight cab, but for like a cab drinker, let's use that example now. A cab drinker should definitely be trying Bordeaux. Bordeaux is a blend of Cab Merlot and Cab Franc, maybe a little Petit Bordeaux. How do I know that? I've been studying wine for a long time. I've been in the business for 17 years. These are things that come pretty natural to me at this point, but for the average wine buyer, it's not that hard just to look up a few regions and kind of learn what grapes they grow. Knowing those, trying different wines and knowing what regions grow the kind of grapes that you like will help broaden your horizons tremendously. Reading the label is the more you try these wines and you kind of study a little bit about the grapes that they grow, the easier it's going to be to read the label. Chateau Le Prime, we look here, it says Margaux. I know that Margaux is in Médoc. Médoc is in Bordeaux, which is a French area. It doesn't take a lot of studying, but if you're willing to go there, just knowing a little bit about the region and what grapes they grow will broaden your horizons tremendously. Look for the producer name, the appellation or the area, and once you know that, you'll know kind of what grapes are in it. This is a domestic. This is Jordan Winery, Cabernet Sauvignon. This has to have, by U.S. wine laws, has to have at least 80% Cabernet in the bottle to be labeled Cabernet Sauvignon. So at least you know when you're buying this wine, you're tasting at least 80% Cabernet. If you find a blend that says it's 50% Merlot, 50% Cab, I would say definitely try it. This still has all those dark fruits that Cab has. They're both tannic and they have medium to full body, but those blends will really start to broaden some horizons too. It makes it a little bit easier to shop when you know that you like more than just one grape. This one's from Alexander Valley, Sonoma. It's kind of, as you look at the label, the further it breaks down where it comes from, maybe the more it goes up in price, but it probably also goes up in quality, so keep that in mind as well. The Sing Cepage, this is a blend of many grapes, and again, by U.S. wine laws, they have to list them in descending order, how much each grape is in the wine. Don't forget to read the back. That would be the next thing I would say, because this does list all of the grapes in descending order on the back of the label, and by U.S. wine law, they all will do that. If you just start with the one grape that you love and add to that, whether it be regional wines or by domestic blends, I would even say just domestic blends that add other grapes in. Just keep trying those wines and ask the guys in the store. They can tell you where the best sellers are and what are some of their favorites. It makes European wines definitely easier, but I think just starting with grapes alone will broaden your horizons tremendously. Clint Ash, CRESTVIEW Wine and Spirits. I hope this helps. We'll see you in the next video.